And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today. Welcome back to Fanboy Fridays. Fanboys, you are ridiculous and so is your king. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. So I'm sure you all heard that recently Lebron James was attending a football game and got heckled by a fan. So this article is coming from fadeawayworld.net. Says heckler accuses LeBron James of attending Diddy Parties during Rams-Eagles game. LeBron James attended the Sunday's NFL game between the Los Angeles Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles at SoFi Stadium and was heckled by a fan during the contest. In a video that has gone viral on social media, the fan can be heard telling James that he knows he went to the infamous Diddy Parties. LeBron, we know you was at them Diddy Parties, the heckler said. We know you was there. We know you was at them Diddy Parties. James didn't pay much attention to the heckler. The 39-year-old is used to fans making unsavory comments towards him at this point and, for the most part, never reacts to them. Unless he's having them thrown out of the arena and that kind of thing. Says there have been times when James has asked for fans who he thinks crossed the line to be kicked out of NBA games, but it doesn't look like he did any such thing here. Considering what the accusation was here, though, I suppose you couldn't have blamed him if he did. Sean John Combs, professionally known as Diddy, is an American rapper, record producer, and record executive. Combs shot to fame in the 1990s and became a celebrated figure in the music industry over time. He rubbed shoulders with some of the biggest names in the industry and beyond, but now finds himself in a heap of trouble. Combs was charged with ex trafficking and racketeering in September 2024. He has been detained at the Metropolitan Detention Center, and his trial is set to begin May 5th. Many of the allegations against Combs were linked to the high-profile parties he threw from time to time. It has been alleged that individuals would be drugged and essayed at these parties by Combs and his wealthy associates that led to anyone associated with the rapper having the spotlight on them, and James is one of them. It's unclear when Combs and James first met, but they appeared to be quite close. The Los Angeles Lakers star even once stated, "Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party." So fanboys, this is your king. This is your king. Being liked is not something that is necessary for success. Matter of fact, I would argue a lot of times the road to success is lonely. It is not a road of being liked. However, there is a difference between being disliked and disrespected and being not respected. LeBron James is not respected. This is the difference between LeBron James fanboys and the rest of the players who people consider, I would say, top 10 players of all time, top 20 players of all time, and so on. This is the difference. LeBron James is not only disliked, but he is also not respected. And I think we all know why these reasons are, but I think the main reason LeBron James is not respected is simply because his actions doesn't align with his words. In other words, fanboys, your king is a liar. And he does a lot of things that aren't respectable. Flopping is something that I've even seen reaction videos from younger LeBron James fans, and whenever he flops, they have a look on their face like, "Come on, LeBron, like I'm out here saying you're the GOAT. Like you're making me look bad." Flopping is not a respectable thing. Now, I mean, that's just to name one of many things. But the flopping thing for someone, again, who's supposed to be in the GOAT conversation, for someone who's supposed to be the greatest of all time, according to delusional people, that is a trait that someone who is that great is if you're as great as you say you are, if you're as great as the media tries to make you out to be, the flopping thing would go against your competitive nature. If you had one. If you actually had a competitive nature, the flopping thing would go against that if you actually thought you were as good as people say that you are, as you say that you are. Now, if you're someone like a Vladdy D. Vox, who you know you're not the best player in the world, you know this, you realize you are far from that, and you're just trying to figure out a way to hang in there. And I'm not saying Vladdy D. Vox was a terrible player by any stretch, but what I am saying is Vladdy D. Vox knew that he would never ever be in the GOAT conversation. This is not something he had to ponder. This is not a delusional thought he had, and neither did the fans. We all know this. So there have been players who have flopped throughout the history of the game. But however, Michael Jordan is not one of them. Kobe Bryant is not one of them. Magic Johnson is not one of them. Larry Bird is not one of them. These were tough players. These were players who actually lived up to what people said about them. They lived up to being that tough competitor. And again, if you are that, if you are supposedly one of the best players in the league, if you are supposedly one of the greatest players to ever play the game, flopping would go against your competitive nature. But again, that's if you have one. LeBron James does not. That is one reason why LeBron James gets heckled so much. That is one reason why when you Google most hated athletes of all time, LeBron James pretty much comes up on every list. Now, you know, it may vary where he shows up on the list. Some of the lists he might be number 1 to number 5 to number 10, but he shows up on every list. This is not a coincidence, LeBron James fanboys. This is not a coincidence that your king, who you spend a large portion of your lives defending on a day-to-day basis, this is not a coincidence that he's on these lists. How he's conducted himself in his career. People don't respect it. People did not respect how he left Cleveland the first time. Matter of fact, I would argue that him leaving Cleveland the first time is what turned a whole lot of people against him from the get-go. But he continued in that same kind of pattern. As we know, the way he left Miami after that was very much similar to how he left Cleveland, in the sense that he kept everybody in the dark, including his so-called friend, D. Wade. So again, he carries himself in a way that will not be respected by the majority of the people. The only people who respect him is low integrity fanboys like yourself, who's spending your days trying to convince people of a lie, who's spending your days trying to convince people of something that not only isn't true, but again, like I've said before, more importantly, is if you could, and I say convince people, the better term would be you guys spend your time trying to bully people into believing that LeBron James is better than he actually is, and bully people into believing that or saying that LeBron James is the GOAT. And like I said, if you were actually able to do that, that still doesn't make LeBron James the GOAT. If you could bully people into saying 2 + 2 is 5, that still doesn't actually make 2 + 2 5 LeBron James fanboys. So yeah. And you know, I guess the thing about LeBron James is he hasn't learned anything over the course of his career. You know, matter of fact, he's just continuously gotten worse and worse over the course of his career. Not and worse in every way. I'm not just talking about on the basketball court, but I'm just talking about in terms of, you know, you would think by now that LeBron James would realize how he conducts himself is working against his own interests. And we all know that he is very aware of what is being said on social media. You know, he's aware that people say he has no bag and all he does is put his head down and drive to the basket. That's why he came out with that video showing a couple of clips of him hitting some fadeaways and whatnot. And again, you know, LeBron James, that doesn't that doesn't erase the fact that most of your game is ducking your head and trying to bulldoze people to the basket. You know, just no one ever said you never ever hit a fadeaway in your whole career. We're just saying that is not a strong suit in your game, and it is not. But LeBron James is very aware of what a lot of people think about him, and yet his way of dealing with it seems to be to double down with unclutched sports and bullying people. This is what this is. Let's just get this. Let's put the correct term on what unclutched sports media does. It's bullying people. Is using their power to try to put pressure on people to say what unclutched sports wants people to say. And so yeah, this is how LeBron James has chose to deal with how people perceive him or how people see the truth about him. He tries to deal with it by doubling down with the bullying and the media pressure instead of changing how he goes about things, instead of trying to be a person of better integrity. And so, you know, getting to this fan who says, you know, we know you were at those parties. Well, for that fan in particular, that's not new news, because LeBron James himself said, ain't no party like a Diddy party. You know, now, of course, there is no proof saying what LeBron James did and did not do at those parties. But I tell you what, boy, is it hard to give someone the benefit of the doubt when they have such low integrity in every other aspect. When they have such low integrity on the court, it's hard to give them the benefit of the doubt on outside things when they've shown to have low integrity about certain other things. It's hard to give them the benefit of the doubt about this. And like I said, to me, I believe this is like a low-lying thing in the back of LeBron James' mind for this season. You know, this Diddy thing is simmering in the background. And who knows, you know, LeBron James may be so, think he's such above everything, kind of like P. Diddy felt the same way. He might think he's so above everything that he thinks there's no way that he will go down with the ship. But, that remains to be seen. But anyway, we gonna hold up here. Fanboys, yeah, like I said, you guys, the biggest problem with your king is not the fact that he's disliked. It's the fact that he's not respected. People do not respect LeBron James. And, if we were going to talk about every way he was not respected, this video would probably be 3 hours long. But yeah, we going to hold up here. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think of this fan heckling LeBron James and, about the Diddy parties? Do you think the fan was right or wrong in heckling LeBron James like that? I personally, if I saw LeBron James out in public, I wouldn't take time out of my, whatever it was I was doing to heckle LeBron James unless he had an interaction with me, But when you're constantly doing things that are not respectable, you have to expect this kind of thing will happen to you. And it seems to happen to LeBron James more frequently than any other superstar that we've heard of in basketball. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.